Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, as you are all well aware, Aisha Buhari seems to be one of the leading foremost critics of the Buhari regime, which is quite a weird thing within the Nigerian space, because you will recall, of course, that Mallam Buhari famously said that his wife belongs in the other room, and he didn't explain what the other room meant, but the wife, of course, is not willing to stay in the other room, and she's quite vocal in her criticism of some of the antics of the Buhari regime. So Obasanjo is now quick to pipe up and take advantage of this and encourage Aisha Buhari to speak up a bit more. So guys, I bring you this. Obasanjo has a piece of advice for the very vocal Aisha Buhari. So that's the headline. Obasanjo has a piece of advice for the very vocal Aisha Buhari. So now here's the body of the story. Obasanjo has a suggestion for Aisha Buhari, who never wastes an opportunity to criticize her husband's administration. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has been very critical of the administration of the incumbent President Muhammadu Buhari, a mannerism he shares with the First Lady. Since her husband's civilian administration kicked off in 2015, Mrs. Buhari has never wasted an opportunity to drag her husband and some unnamed member of his team to the cleaners, and Obasanjo says this is a good thing. It is nice that the president's wife is talking. I think she did well, and maybe she should also have a pillow talk with the president, Obasanjo said when media paid him a visit at his residence in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, on Monday, June 3rd, 2019. I believe every Nigerian family, individual, group is entitled to legitimate livelihood. It is the responsibility of all to make sure that we have a dignified life. This should be our aim collectively, Obasanjo added. So this is now Battle of the General. This is the next tag of the subtitle. In January of 2018, Obasanjo issued a letter to Buhari warning him not to seek a second term in office. The letter tore into Buhari, labeling him a failure who should dismount from the horse. Buhari's relationship with Obasanjo has remained frosty since the letter. The president has also insinuated time and again that he could probe Obasanjo for an alleged mismanagement of $16 billion earmarked for the power sector during Obasanjo's era as president from 1999 to 2007. Both men were former military presidents of Nigeria at different times and fought wars alongside each other. So the next subtitle is Aisha versus Buhari. So in October of 2016, Mrs. Buhari told the BBC that her husband and his administration were being held hostage by a cabal. On Friday, January 19, 2018, Mrs. Buhari reposted video links wherein the speakers were taking President Buhari and the administration he heads to the cleaners. In October 2017, Mrs. Buhari said the Aso Rock Clinic, which should be tending to the first family and the presidency, is so poorly equipped it can't even boast of a syringe. On October 7, 2018, Aisha Buhari launched a scathing attack on her husband's political party, the APC, over development in her home state of Adamawa, and in May of 2019, Mrs. Buhari called the Social Investment Program SIP a signature initiative of her husband's administration, a failure and a scam. I don't know where the social investment worked. Maybe it worked out in some states. In my own state, only a local government benefited out of the 22 local governments. I didn't ask what happened, and I don't want to know, but I can say it failed woefully in Kano. We have a lot of women who do business locally due to the cultural thing in the north. They are at home doing their businesses. Some are millionaires, some have thousands of naira. They need the assistance, but they did not get it. Most northern women do not belong to any market association. I was expecting the 500 billion to be utilized in different methods in the north for the aim to be achieved. I don't know the method they used, but most of the northern states did not get it. So this is what Aisha Buhari said, which is really hinting at a 500 billion naira scandal. So a 500 billion naira that has been taken out of the Nigerian coffers as a palliative measure for market women and low income people and small businesses as a booster for them for enterprise and whatnot. This money, 500 billion we are talking about, which was taken from the Nigerian state, has been disappeared, and this first lady, no less a figure, a member of the party, the ruling party is the person speaking now, has gone round the northern parts of the country and has said that she cannot report back any impact that these monies, this 500 billion, has had on anyone. So she's now described it a failure and a scam. So a scam is, let's say you steal 5-10 million, but we're talking about 500 billion. 500 billion naira. That's an awful lot of money, you know. So this really is not something that can be swept under the carpet, but it will be swept under the carpet, of course, because they steal a lot more on a daily basis and they don't really care. But if somebody as prominent and as loyal to the party as the first lady is coming out to say there's 500 billion missing unaccounted for, then this is reason for us to take heed. But are we taking heed? Yes, we can take all the heed we like, but nothing will happen, of course, because even if you attempt anything at protesting against this, we all know what the repercussions is under the brutal regime that we have in place at the moment. So let's just round off the article. The First Lady continues to use her Twitter and Instagram account as bully pulpit, from where she launches her scathing attacks on her husband's administration. Obasanjo thinks she could use pillow talk to finally sort it all out. So that's pretty much the summary of the article, but the real takeout really is this First Lady coming out to state that look, there's a lot of wayo and mago going on in this place, and really in testament to her, and to be honest to her and to be fair to her, Aisha Buhari has always been of the view that there's a lot of rot and there's a lot rotten, there's something stinks in the state of Denmark, as they say. She's always been of that view that there's something stinks in the state of Denmark, because she has always been very vocal about how the regime of her husband has been hijacked by people who were not even party to the Buhari becoming president, but suddenly Buhari becoming president, they've now rallied around him and corrupted his mind with Fulanism and religion bigotry, and this now seems to have captured his imagination, because Buhari, of course, has always been of that bent anyway. A lot of you will recall when Buhari was in hospital in 2015, 2016, or in London all the way through, there was even information coming through that they were preventing Aisha Buhari, not Aisha Mohammed, Aisha Buhari from seeing her husband in London then, because they drew a circle around him and they prevented anybody from seeing him, and they were sort of like issuing directives on his behalf, a man that was convalescing in bed that did have full function. And we had an acting president in Obasanjo, but they tried to sideswipe him and were issuing all these directives, and they were preventing Aisha Buhari from seeing her husband, to see her husband. So we had all this, and Aisha Buhari has also made mention of this thing about the Aso Rock clinic, by the way, because you have this Aso Rock clinic which is always budgeted for about 5, 6, 7 billion every year, and they don't even have paracetamol, they don't have a syringe. So if they have this what's meant to be a world standard hospital in Aso Rock, because the budget of the Aso Rock clinic is half the budget of the Nigerian health health services. So the budget for the one man, one family is more than the budget, is half the budget of the 200 million other people. So if you now have all these monies budgeted to that Aso Rock clinic, then you should have a world standard clinic there, and there should be no reason therefore for Buhari to be going to London every minute that he catches a cold. Remember, Buhari, by the way, said before he came into power that there will be no medical jamborees and junketing, but he's the first junketeer and the first jamboreer that sets the tempo for traveling out free. I mean, I think he's the most traveled Nigerian president anyway. I think that's factually the case because he's constantly on the plane. So now, yes, an unlikely alliance, President Obasanjo and Aisha Buhari all singing from the same tune. Now, what says you? Conversations in the comment section. What Obasanjo said about the president's wife is what we're talking about here. But before you come join me in the comment section to have that conversation, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Click on the bell button, that way you are notified every time I drop a new video. Then come join me in the comment section. Let me know what you are making of all this. So I'll leave you here. Meet you in the comment section. But here I say peace.